Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Pray for more people to come in. How are we all doing? For lighting okay? Have a look. How are we all, guys? So I'll just give it a couple, say 30 more seconds, get more people in, and then we will start. By the way, guys, just let me know if you have any problems, whether it's sound or whether it is lighting, and I'll do my best. Let me put the light on. Might be better. Any better? A little bit. There we go. Right, guys, so welcome to our first ever YouTube Live. Now, this is my first one, so bear with me on it. If, live TV, everything can go wrong. I'm sure it won't, but we always like to try and not to have much anticipation for that. So, we have got a new model today. Now, I know everyone who's been watching has seen me using coal. Now, I don't know if you've seen coal, but coal is no longer, okay? So we've moved on to Ian now. So this is Ian, he's our pivot point mannequin. And again, a big thank you to Pivot Point for providing the mannequins for us. It's very kind, it's really helped us out. Isolation's been quite tough, obviously I can't work, so it's been quite tough. But nonetheless, we've got this guy, handsome chap with a beard as well, as you can see, a very wiry beard, which we will be doing some bits on as well. Right, so we are looking to do a haircut today, which is probably the most requested haircut we've had. Now, I just want to show you guys, if no one follows me on Instagram, which I really hope you do, it's at Dan Gregory Hair, by the way, then I want to show you the haircut that we got sent the most, or the one that was kind of came up the most, okay? Now, I'm going to show you it on my tablet now, and this is the haircut. Now, credit rights to whoever took the photograph, an amazing image. But this is what we're gonna, can you see that? 1 second. Let me get the brightness up. So this is what we're looking to do today. Okay. Now, this haircut in particular, I think was very popular because isolation across the world has kind of, people have either shaved their heads or they've kept long hair. There are no in-betweens really. Some people obviously attempted the DIY haircuts, which some have turned out great, some not so much, but we won't comment on them. And we thought we could do a haircut that will kind of be something that people would maybe opt towards or become maybe a new trend as well, because obviously everyone's trying to grow the hair out at the moment. You don't want to risk getting a haircut. So we thought we could work on that and just work with a bit more length coming through. We thought we might twist it up a little bit though. So I know that haircut's quite sort of brushed up around the ears and stuff, but we thought we might put a bit of a taper on this, on the sideburns and the neck, just to kind of, if people are liking the hair a bit longer, but they don't like it over the ears and a bit kind of what people say it's a bit scruffy through here, then we can show you a haircut that you get with still having longer hair, but also having a bit of a tidy up as well. So without further adu, we will start. Now, I've shampooed and conditioned Ian's hair, and I've got to say the quality of the hair is unreal. So, you literally just treat it as though you're treating your own hair, 2 shampoos and a conditioner, and now I'm just wetting it down. So, let me just get that picture up again, and I will just show you the full image in detail. Now, I'll talk you through it, because obviously we'll be working on Ian. Now, as you can see, the hair is kind of coming up and back, and there's quite a lot of length on top, and it looks as though it's got a slight disconnection in it, which I think we might work with on the front, but I think we might connect everywhere else, because it might be a little bit, I think it'll match Ian just around the ears, but I'm thinking maybe on the sideburns, it's maybe taper them in a bit tighter, give it a bit more of a sharper look. I think that'd be quite nice, and also around the neck as well. So essentially keeping this, but putting our own spin on it for something that people can maybe have when they get back into the barbershop if they're liking the hair longer. Now, if you look through the top as well, you've got a lot of movement. It's very long at the top as well. I wouldn't know what in inches that was, but I'd probably say about 3 inches maybe. So we want to try and keep it quite long, especially at the front. So enough that it can fall back and obviously have that movement and texture in as well. So what I'm thinking we do is we'll start with the back and sides and we'll do palm to palm because it is quite long. Now Ian's hair is quite long. So I'm going to work that palm to start with. Now, what that'll allow me to do is start to create that shape through the sides here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, bring the camera a bit further forward to you so you can see. There he is, old handsome Ian. There we go. Now, Ian's density of hair is quite a medium density, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our horseshoe section first, okay? Now, what this will help us do is determine the round of Ian's head, okay? So, as I've always shown you in a lot of the other videos, is how you find the round of the head. So, on the top of the head here, the apex of the head is here, and then you can use another comb and press that flat against the sides, and that is where you can see that square there? That is where the corner and the round of his head is. That's where we need to build up weight, especially in this haircut as well, okay? So we want to try and build up the weight through this area here, where we've just held our combs, okay? That is essentially the round of the head. So let's start off with getting our horseshoe section in. Now, I'm going to start from here, from the back, okay? And Ian's crown is sort of just off the centre to the left, right where my finger is there, okay? So I'll show you that. You see this, his crown is there, okay? So that's where his crown is, right where my finger is there, okay? Now, we still need to take the crown into consideration, even when working with a mannequin, because we want to try and make this as true to life as possible. This is the whole point of why we do mannequin heads, is to try and make it as true to life, you know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on that and work with the round of the head at the back as well. So I'm just combing this out. So I'm coming from the centre to the left round here, okay? I'm right-handed, so if I work from dead centre to the left, I find I just flow easier with the comb. It's just something it's always worked better for me. I mean, if you want to start from the centre to the right, there's no issue there. It's just, if anyone wonders why I always go that way, it's just because I'm right-handed and that's what I was taught. It just makes it easier for me to do. So, combing this hair up from the crown, which is always a good way to start. You can see exactly which way the haircut grows. You can see exactly where the hair is being put into this mannequin as well, which again is trying to be true to life as possible. I'm going to put my first section in, because here's the round of the head. If I put my comb there, as you can see, that's where we need to build up the weight. That's coming from the dip in his occipital bone there, and then that's right on Ian's occipital bone right there as well. Okay, so that's where I want to start to build up the weight. So I'm going to put my horseshoe section just above there. Okay, as you can see there. Now, I'm going to work it around to the sides. Now let me just spin this round, it might be a bit easier for you to see. There we go. So I'm going to work this around to my left hand side. Now again, if anyone who's asked questions what combs I use Matador, okay? Now this is a longer comb. Now the reason why, if you look at this comb compared to say my all-purpose cutting comb, it's much smaller, okay? As you can see there, it's much smaller. Now the reason being is that I've got more comb to play with, and that sounds crazy, but when I'm working through my fingers, I'm not kind of all fingers and thumbs, I'm not too close together. I've got a lot of sort of length to play with on the comb, okay? So that's what I always find works really, really well, is that I'm not kind of getting two fingers and thumbs, not kind of getting too close, and starting to overlap. So that's why I always tend to use a longer comb. So it's what I call my all-purpose comb really, because it does a lot of things for me as well. I'm working this round. So let me know, guys, if you can't see it. Now it'd be really nice to know, is anyone cutting along? Because I've had a lot of people who've genuinely messaged me asking me, like, what model do I need? What length hair does a mannequin need to be? So if anyone's following along and they do get stuck at some point, just drop me a message. I can see your messages coming up, and I'll do my best to kind of go back and help as well, all right? Now, the mannequins you buy, as great as they are, because they are amazing, the hairlines obviously aren't as true to a human hairline as it can be, right? So they are a little bit wide, okay? As you can see, it's very far back. Normally on a human, it would be about here, and then it would dip into here. So obviously, I need to take that into account. But if I go too low, I might not have much room to play with. Okay, so I'm going to go just into the hairline. But if I was doing this on somebody in the Hunter Collective, then I would be working to their full recession point. Okay, now there is one bit done. Now I'm going to get that absolutely perfect as I can. There we go. And there's 1 second. Now if I just turn this towards you, can you see where I've sectioned that off? Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll put the comb on the round of the head. So there is the side. You see? There is the top. And as I bring this down, it angles right on where I want to keep weight. And that is where my horseshoe section is. So let's turn them around a bit. You can see. Okay. So that is where my horseshoe section is, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow it all the way around to the other side as well. So let's head down just a little bit, it's a bit easier for me. So I'm just working up from the middle here. I know you can't see this bit here, but you'll see it as I work around. And I'm going to work again to the other side now. Now a good little thing as well, I know obviously trying to get the horseshoe as well can be quite hard. So what I want to show you is how I get my horseshoe section, okay? Now what I do is I bring it around, put my thumb at the back of the comb, and then as I'm working around, the hair starts to build up behind my thumb, okay? And then what you do, you get to a point where you stop, you separate with your thumb and your comb, and you pull down, and then all you do is you comb down. And as you can see, you get a nice clean section. And it just saves a lot of hassle of trying to separate it with your comb separately, okay? Now if you watch again, I'm going to comb this out, it's obviously quite long. Now if you watch this now, I'm going to work it right to the front, thumb behind, pull down, of working a horseshoe section, because again, it can be quite hard when you're trying to separate it like this and pull it up and down. So you do it in one swift movement, it's a lot cleaner as well. Now I'm just going to comb this up, and I'm also going to put this up on top of his head as well. So I'm just going to use a clip, because obviously his hair is quite long. What I'm going to do is bring it all into my hand like this, comb it all the way over, and then twist it around like that, and then just pop a clip into it. I'll just put one of these in here as well, just to keep it in. There we go. Now that is nice and separated. Now if I lift that up, I'm hoping that is absolutely bang on. Turn that around there. Sorry if it's knocking you guys, I'm just getting it right for you. So if I lift that up now, that looks to me like it's pretty level. There we go. So if I just take him off, you'll be able to see how my horseshoe is. So you work it from the side and around again. There we go. So you're matching up as well. So that's why it's, again, I know I might obviously point out the obvious here, but that's why it's called a horseshoe. So when you see it from above, it does look like a horseshoe, okay? Or a U-shaped pattern, as they say. Now, obviously, the ability to do this with a mannequin is great. I couldn't do this with clients, obviously, or one of our models. So that's why I thought, while we're here, we might as well do it together, and I can show you it properly as well. Okay? So we just section that up properly again. And just get this out the way. Now again, the reason why I do the horseshoe is just to separate the sides and the back to the top. It just makes it so much easier for me to do. Okay, that's the reason why I do it. It just lets me see the shape of the back of the head, and also it stops any mistakes happening. The crown, the fringe, the sides, the bits that can stick out. That's the reason why I do my horseshoe. Okay, now this is exposed the back and sides for me. I'm just going to comb all that hair down. I'm going to start from the right hand side. Now I'm going to take a fair bit of length off this because we are going to bring it back through here and also connect in the top and leave a lot of length through it as well. Okay. Now, I am working with a 6.5 inch scissor, okay? That is my choice of scissor today because I'm working palm to palm, so I don't want something too long. So again, if you're working through your fingers, you want something that's a little bit smaller so you can obviously, you know, you don't cut yourself, should we say, when you're working through palm to palm. So I always find a bit of a smaller scissor works quite well with this. Now, on Ian's fringe here, right, I just pull this over so I've got a bit more room so you can see. On Ian's fringe, I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to over-direct this bit back because I don't want to cut this bit too short because it is essentially his fringe, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first section. I'm going to take it from just the side of the ear and knock that back, like that, okay? And then I'm going to pull this into the middle, okay? Forget about his beard for now. We'll blend that down in a bit, okay? Now I'm going to take my section and work it through my fingers. Can you see that? Let me see if I can get a better angle for you. Let's see if this is better. There we go, that's much better. Now I'm going to bring this through my fingers. Now the length I'm looking to go to, I'm looking to remove about, say, a good bit of length. I'm looking to leave about maybe an inch on the sides, okay? Roughly about that much, okay? I'm going to work it through. Pull it through my fingers and pick the length that I want by keeping my fingers completely parallel to the other side, okay? Like this. Underneath, nice and straight, nice bit of tension, nothing too strong, and just cut straight down. Bring it again. Got the guide from above, cut, and then just work that down to the bottom of the sideburn. We are going to cut that shorter anyway in a bit. Okay? That's the length I'm going to be working with, but and that still allows me to bring that hair back. So that's what I'm looking for, okay? So same again. Section roughly about maybe, on these combs, about 5 teeth. So you're looking about 1/2 inch wide in sections. So again, because we are leaving a bit more hair there, we want to leave the sections that are slightly wider. And I'm bringing this section back in as my guide, okay? So I'm bringing that back into, pull it out of the guide, nice and straight, and cut. Pull it back again. There's a guide from underneath and a guide from the top, nice and straight, and cut down. What you're starting to see now, you're starting to see that length sitting over the ears now, so we're getting a little bit shorter through here. That'll allow us to break it up over the ear. All right? Working it around again. Same size section. Work it down to just before the bottom here, the ear, just where the hairline is, okay? And do the same cut again. Bringing it back in for my last section to use as a guide. Bring it through. There's my guide underneath, if you can see that. There's my guide coming through. And then cut. Same again. Pulling it from the previous guide. Put in. There's my guide from the top because there's no guide from behind it now. Cut down. Then one last section through here just to make sure. And cut that in. There we go. So wet it down a bit. Same again on this section. Same size. I'm working this all the way down to the hairline now. Pushing that across. So what you start to really see, if I bring that closer, you can really start to see the length coming through now as well. So it's starting to look shorter and you can start to see the length in the section there as well. And again, I'm going to pull this towards me and then pull in my section from before. There's my guide, straight out so you can see completely level the top and cutting in. Pull it out, using the guide from the top because you don't have a guide underneath, and working straight down. Now what I'm going to do now, to get to the bottom, I'm going to angle my fingers inwards because I want to start to create a bit of a taper into the neck. So I do, bring my fingers out towards me, scissors around, and work down, like that. And again, so we're getting nice and gradually shorter. Graduation in there as well. All right. There we go. So if you start to get a nice bit, let me move this around for you so you can kind of see a bit more. You're starting to get a nice bit of movement coming through there now. It's starting to sit back as well. We've kept the length in there, but that's enough for us to do a nice little taper to the bottom, keep it around the ears and then taper in the neck as well. All right. So is this making sense to everybody? If anyone's trying it at home, is it making sense? If not, I'll slow it down. There we go. Another section again. Comb the hair out of the way. And just repeat all the way around. There we go, got my guide from behind. Then I'm looking for that guide to drop a bit now. There we go, starting to drop downwards. Scissors round, cuts out. My knuckles end up resting against the neck of Ian. And then I cut in. There we go. So again, just keep repeating, and I'm going to stop just as I get to about here, because then I'm going to cross check them. Okay? Same size section. Do that again. And bring that out of the way. And bring that back in to my previous section. Find the guide from behind, pull it out. Here's my guide from behind. And cut it nice and straight. Another one, pulling completely parallel to the other side until I get to the bottom where the occipital bone is. And I start to angle this in. So again, just mimicking the head shape of Ian or of the client, whoever it would be. It's the beauty of it. You can bespoke it to the client in the chair. And we're working that down. So essentially what we're getting is that nice graduation up to the go, there's my guide. Nice and straight. Bring this out again. I can see the guide through my fingers, so I don't need to check. And I start to bring this in. Turn the scissors around. Start to cut in. Here we go. So I'm going to do 2 more sections, and then we will do our cross check. Come that down first. So 2 more just to get past the centre back. So my head being in the way then, guys. So when we talk about technique of scissor, comb, etc., I get asked a lot of questions about how to hold the scissors, and especially when I was doing any sort of education for, like, say, my own sort of shop or whatever, when I had my apprentices and stuff, I used to do a lot of obviously, you know, talk about how to hold your scissor, how to hold your comb. Now I'll show you now in the next section what I mean when we talk about that, because it's very important how you hold your scissor to get the right cut. Now if I show you this now, it's all coming together nicely. Now this is my last section before I cross check, so it's just going past the centre back. I'm just going to comb this over. It's my last section now. Now if you watch the way the scissors opens, now when we talk about holding the scissor correctly, what I mean by that is you've got to try and keep the bottom blade still. Now I'm sure there's barbers watching here now, and they'll get what I mean, but anyone who isn't watching, is you've got to keep the bottom blade still when you're cutting, okay? Now what that does, it adds control to the scissor, and it helps you control the way you want to cut with the comb, when you're working through your fingers, anything like that, when you're doing uniform sections, or even when you're doing palm to palm. Now I'll show you what I mean by that now. So 1 second. Just bear with me. sorry guys, my section. You see that? Right, and what you do, you pull it out, and you want to mimic your finger, okay? If you watch this now, completely flat along my finger and cut. That's why it's so important to try and keep that bottom blade still. If you were trying to do this and your scissors were opening like this, you've got a chance of cutting your other finger and just not keeping the section or the cut straight. So any new barbers out there, practice trying to keep that bottom blade still. And I'll give you some tips on that as well as we go along, how to do that. I'm start to drop it in now to the neck, turn it round. When we get to the last one, cut it in again. Now, I'm going to cross check this now and I'll show you how I do that. So, we've got our right hand side here. Now, when I do my cross check, I'll come behind the camera and I'll show you as though you're looking at it through me. Right. So, when I'm doing my cross check, I'm looking for the length that I'm trying to find, okay? Now, I'm going to mimic my sections throughout here. So 1, 2, I'm just going to scatter them out. I'm going to pull one finger through here and make sure it matches. Now let me move my scissors and comb out the way so you can see. Pull this out and make sure it matches. Make sure it basically falls at the same time when I pull my fingers out. And as you can see, they're matching all the way through. Turn it around to that side as well, and you start to see when you pull it out, it's all starting to match all the way through. Now, I do that because when I get to this side of the head round here, what happens is, this is what happened, especially when I was starting off, is that I'd sort of end up getting longer as I got to this side. I think it was just a natural sort of projection of the way my body was angled, I think, or something, I'm not too sure, but I just end up getting to here, and I get to this side and go, wow, I'm really long this side, and you kind of have to go over it again. Now, if you can try and stop and prevent that happening, just do a cross check halfway through, or through the back and side. Just go past the head and just do a cross check and just check that it's working all right. Okay? Right. Back onto this side now. Okay. Right. Try to get my head in the way now for you guys, okay? I'll bring that across to here. Picking this up. Now what you'll see now, I'm working my body around the head, so I'm standing exactly level with this. So I am bringing that towards me. There's my section behind it. Finger nice and straight. And cut. Same again. There we go. I'll start to bring my fingers in towards the nape of the neck now. Bring that down. Start to rest my knuckles onto the nape of the neck. So what we're starting to get is that on the neckline. So it's starting to go from longer to shorter down the bottom. Okay? There we go. I'm going to use the ear just to whip that over there to keep hold that section for me. There we go. Bring that out towards me. Follow my guide from behind. There we go. Bring my fingers in now to follow the guide underneath. So you just angle your fingers until you see your guide appear. Okay, if you don't see your guide appear, just do it again. Don't cut for the sake of cutting it, because one guide off can ruin the whole haircut, okay? There we go. Right, just lifting his head up now, lean it slightly over to the right hand side. Bring this towards me. Now, as you see, my sections are roughly, say, 1/2 inch, maybe a bit less. But what it's allowing me to do is still be able to see the section through. So if I pull that to you, can you still see the hair through the section there if I break it up? There's the hair coming through there. So you want it to still be able to see. If you take too wide a section, you'll lose the guide. So trying again, 1/2 inch sections, maybe a bit shorter if it's your first time, so you can go a little bit sort of closer together so you can see the guide. But roughly that is a good length to take it. Pull it back, there's my guide. And as we're getting into the bottom now, pull it out straight. So I want to keep a little bit of strength through the bottom there for now. And then bring my fingers inwards. As you can see, if I pull this out now, as I pull my fingers towards me, it mimics the guide underneath. If I keep it straight, if I keep my fingers nice and straight, pick it up, you see the way it curves into the bottom. So I bring my fingers out towards me, there's my guide, comb in and cut. Okay. Now when we get to this side now, we're not going to be bringing our fingers in because we're going to try and keep it nice and straight all the way down. Okay. So again, same size sections. Bring it out towards me. So you see your guide, there's my guide. There we go. Nice and straight. Nice and straight again. There we go. And we get here. Got 2 more sections left now. This is my second to last section. Bring it straight out towards me again. Bring the guy from the other side. There we go. Nice and straight down. Last section now, because obviously we're bringing this back. This is not being included in the cut, we're bringing this back. I'm going to bring this back to the last section. So I'm cutting it basically again. Bring that back. Use the guide from at the top. And then cut again, down to our last section. There we go. So guys, that's our sides done. Okay? Let me just wet these down and start to see these fall back. And they're through, and that's all sitting level now as well. Pull that away. It's all sitting level now. Good thing is as well, you're still getting that movement of the hair coming back too. So it still allows us to brush the hair back. I know I do that a lot of times in the videos as well, but I just wanted to allow the hair to fall back as well. As you can see, that's moving just off the ear as well there. Okay. Right. So what we'll do, we will start on our taper on the neck now. So on the sides as well. So what we're going to do is, like we said, the picture that I showed you was our nice reference. But I'm thinking I want to make it a bit more up to date. Still keep some length through the sides that it comes back, but just add a bit more of a taper through the sides here as well, especially on the neck as well. So I'm going to do a bit of clipper over comb here today as well. Okay? Now I'm going to switch it up to the clippers now. And I'm going to start at the neck first, okay? So I'm going to be using this solely to blend down. I'm not going to use any guards, I'm going to use combs, okay? Which I find it's quite nice that way. I'm not looking to put harsh line in with the blend. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my taper. Now the hair is still quite wet as well, which is good. I'm going to start my taper from just underneath where the head starts to curve in, okay? So on Ian, it's about there, okay? So usually on a client, it's where the occipital bone starts to protrude out, okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be keeping it on closed guard. I'm using the Babyliss. I'm going to lift it up, and that is, I'm going to bring my teeth towards me now, okay? Now that is going to be my first cut, okay? I'm going to get closer and closer underneath. Now when people always say, how do you see the guide with a dark comb? The hair isn't as dark as the comb. So you can always see a guide through it, especially if you've got good lighting on. Let me see if I can get a bit closer. so you can see this, okay? Let me lower the tripod down a touch, so you can get a little bit more of a closer feel to this as well. Liam generally edits all this out for me, you see, so thanks for that, Liam, mate. See how cack-hand I am sometimes as well. So, going in, lifting up, and I've got my guide coming through the comb now. Okay, so as I pick it up, there's the first cut I've done. I bring it lower down, and as I start to lift it up, you see the guide sitting through the comb, okay, and that's where you're cutting to, okay? I'm bringing this in, just taking small sections and just getting gradually closer and closer and closer down to the bottom. And then place my teeth on and work up and off. There we go. So you get a nice graduation there. So we'll do that for the first bit. Now I will switch up combs. I'm just angling this head over slightly as well. There we go. Now comb in, follow my guide from there. Okay, that's where my guide is. Let me see if I can get you that guide as well a bit more as well. Just bear with me. And lower down now a little bit for you so you can see it a bit clearer. Right, okay. See against the white wall as well, might be easier. Right, there we go. Right, okay. So I'll go to this side just to make it easier. As I lift it up, got my guide from the left hand side there, and it gets longer to this side, okay? Pick it up, cut across. Pick it up, cut across. And you just follow the guide that falls out from the teeth until you get to an offer. Something like that. I'm going to work up. There we go. Same again here. Working across. As you can see, the guide through here is longer, and just following that around the hairline at the bottom. Just going to work up. There we go. Just getting lower down. I'm going to do the same again this other side now. Just add that nice taper into the bottom. Bring it up. There's my guide. There's the long hair. And just cross check over. There we go. Same again. Tilt it over a bit. Pick it up. And just work down into the neck. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch up combs and go a little bit shorter. I'm going to switch on to my trimmers too. Now these will go a little bit closer as well. Okay. So I'm onto a size 1 comb now. So that was my clipper comb, and this is my size 1 comb. Okay. Barber and comb, as they're called as well. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to work up into the teeth. Work across, turn it round to my small teeth, and really start to taper this in now. And just freehand the bottom. And just jagged it away a little bit as well. So what we're getting is a nice short close crop down the bottom, but we're still leaving a lot of length sitting into this as well. It's just a nice alternative than putting like guards on. It's just using combs. I always find that's quite nice. It tests your skill set as well, you know, if you forget your guards. Done that a couple of times when you leave a guard at home, or I've been to do a client in a hotel and I've left my number 1 and he wants a 1, you know. So it's always nice to have a little bit of variation and be able to do a few things, and especially now we're on a live and this is the kind of thing that I like to do. I thought I'd show you guys a different way of doing it as well. Bring that up as well. Just cutting into that nicely as well, so we're getting a nice graduation into that neck as well. Same again, comb. And a little bit of clipper over comb to work into our previous section. Now what I'm doing now is I'm bringing the teeth pretty much all the way towards me. So I'm almost just letting that hair hang through the comb. into that beard as well. Brush this hair out of the way. Push it up and off and let his sideburn expose. Doesn't matter if a few hairs fall into it, that's okay, it's quite natural that way. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to work on his beard first and just work down to trim the beard off. A little bit of freehand beard trimming going on. Get a bit more shape to this. And I'm going to work up into where I've sectioned it off. So what I've done there is I've sectioned it off just where it falls naturally into the sideburn. Everyone's got it. It's just kind of on an angle from the top of the ear to the top there. All this does, it accentuates longer hair on the sides, but it still allows hair to sit over the ear with a kind of short, nice, kind of clean finish. So just a slight taper into this as well, just to kind of work through. Just work it slightly around the ear as well, to a little kind of shorter effect, and then doing a freehand over it as well. So again, not using guards, just freehand and combs. What this does, it gives a nice shorter appearance when you're looking straight on. It also accentuates the longer hair falling over it as well. Okay, so again, very similar to the picture that we looked at the start, just with my little slight take on something that people will actually probably feel comfortable with if you don't like long hair. So what I'm doing here, I'm going down to probably roughly a 3 or something on the sides, okay? There we go. So that's just tapering in, exposing the sideburn. We're keeping the length coming through here. Now we will tidy up freehand with the scissors in a minute around here. We'll just do these main parts first, okay? Now, through this side as well. The hair still falls nicely back. Now if you watch this now, I'm just going to separate it. Just don't need to be perfect. You want it to be a little bit rough, because when it does fall, you want that kind of ruggedness to it. You want that perfectly parted sideburn, because it might look slightly strange when you do want it to fall over, or you do brush it back. So that's just a nice rough parting. I'm just going to work in. There we go. And just pull that beard down, just a little bit of freehand on the beard as well. Just to cut it in a bit as well, just to give a bit of shape to that beard. And turn my comb to the side, it helps you stretch out and blend it as well. And I'm just working up the corner of the clipper just to the top of the ear, just to expose that sideburn a bit more. And just cut into the sideburn on Ian, because it sticks out a little bit on that side. I'm just working straight down with the trimmer. And I'll just move over to my trimmer now as well. And I'll just start to perfect that a bit more, just around the sides there. Okay. Cut into the beard a little bit, just give it more shape. So again, we're not doing a full beard trim, we're just going to try and show off for this haircut a little bit. Just going over to perfect. There we go. Now, I'm going to move back to my scissors, and I'm going to cut over the ear and into the neckline as well, okay? So I still want to keep a little bit of movement through the ear. So I'm just going to wet it down a touch. I'm going to work this down now, and I'm going to pull it in with my fingers like that. You just turn them around, that's all. Do this side. Bit easier this way for you guys, I think. What I'm going to do, putting this in with my fingers and pull it over like this, so it sits essentially. I'll show you now. This is how I'm doing it now. Bring it across here and bring it down. So you scoop it into your fingers, bring it down, you have a little point right there. Now I'm going to point cut into this. bring it across. So what we're essentially doing is keeping some hair under again. I might go a bit shorter just because Ian's hairline is quite high. So if this is on a client, it'd be a lot closer to the ear itself. I'm just going a bit higher than I normally would, okay? And then I'm bringing in this. So I'm working in a sort of semicircle around the ear. I'm point cutting every time. Okay, so what I'm exposing now is just leaving a bit of length in there. And then I'm going to bring my fingers onto the side, like this, bring it out over this way. And you have a short blend on the top from the ear, and just cut that in. There we go. So what we're doing is we're allowing a little bit of movement to sit through, a little bit of a natural element through over the sides, and then just freehanding a little bit as well. You can also use your comb and pull it out, just to make sure. Just point cut into that as well. Obviously watch the ears on a regular human as well. There we go. And just perfect that you want to see. Same the other side. Right, so there we go. If you could see the shape of me, guys, trying to do this, I'm literally behind the phone on a tripod. That's the only way I can do it. There we go. A little bit closer. Right, so again, pulling this in. I'm just pulling it across this way because I find it easier to scoop down. And what we'll find is we'll find our little points. There we go. So we've got a short from where we were cutting through palm to palm. That's the bit where we over-directed back in. Now, when it comes to point cutting, what I tend to do, especially when I'm working, especially around the ears and stuff, is I'll pull it down. I'll pull my third finger out, rest it just where the hair is, and rest the blade on my third finger. And as you cut, you pull away, just so you don't cut your finger, okay? Do that as well. Put that in. Again, working around the ear now. And then bring that down this way as well. So I'm just basically following the hairline. Go in here to break up any thickness as well. So if I slide in, pick it up, flatten over the comb, and then point cut in. That'll just break up the sides through there as well. And just comb it down. So we're trying to keep that natural element as it's brushed back, but with that nice smoother finish through the sideburns. So that sits back, so we'll blow dry that back. And now, I want to break up this bit here, because it'll be quite heavy through here, okay? So what you'll find is you'll find a lot of thickness through the bottom. Now, a good way of doing that is using a razor. Now, I use a razor quite a lot. I love the razor. It's probably the best tool I've got in the arsenal, to be honest, really. And what this helps do is just a number of things where you can add lift to the hair, you can thin the hair out. Now, a good one with this is using your all-purpose comb, so your long comb. You can work it up to where the thickness is and just run across, just a bit of razor over comb. That won't cut it completely straight, it'll scatter it, okay? But what it does, it adds a bit of thinning out to it and breaks up that thicker part of the blend. And also you can start to work it in as well to really break up and shatter the ends of the hair. So again, trying to kill two birds with one stone really is thinning it out, breaking up the bulk, breaking up the thickness, but also adding a bit of sort of shape and texture as well as you're going along. So colour this razor over comb, work up, this just breaks up into these straight sections. Okay, if I go back down this side as well, I want to break up this corner here. So I'm working over it, but if you watch the ends of it, if you can see that closely, it's not completely straight, it's very serrated, which I think just gives a really, really nice finish to the hair. And if you bring it across through your fingers, you can work it down as well. And you see it just starts to really break up and feather the ends. Just make sure you change them regularly though, guys, because they do blunt quite quickly as well. So I've been changing it after every haircut. We did with Cole, so it was really, really starting to blunt. There we go. Right. So that for me is the back and sides done. Now we're going to start on the top now. Okay, let me just move you around there. There we go. Okay, so coming back, I'm going to take that out and comb it down from the crown. Okay, go a little bit further back for you guys so you can see a bit more. There we go. I'm just combing it out from his crown and all the way down. There we go. Right. I'm going to wet it down a little bit. It's starting to dry out, so just wet it down. Now, I'm going to take a section from the back to the front, okay? And what this will do is I want to start to connect the crown to the length that we cut it through the back, and then just start to angle it longer and disconnect that fringe, okay? So I'll show you from the back what I'm going to do. Turn it around. And where his crown is, which is there, I'm going to take a section just below it. Just comb it forward. There we go. Bring it forward like that. Right, so what we've got is a massive overhang now, okay? But I'm going to work this horizontal into the section underneath, okay? But I'm going to add elevation to it so it starts to fall and not sit too blunt. So I'm going to bring it across to meet, go past my middle finger, pick it up, nice clean section. And what you'll see is I pull this out and lift it up. There's the guide from the previous haircut. I don't know if you can see that in the light. Maybe I'll turn to the side so you can have a little look. I'll go the other side. Can't have you look at me garden. It looks a mess at the moment, guys. So I'll have to take you towards the toy boxes instead. That's probably better, isn't it? There we go. Right. So this might be easier to see. Okay. If I pick this up and I pull it, now as I pull away, you'll see the hair falling through underneath. You see that? So that was what we were doing palm to palm earlier on. Now I want to blend this in to start with and use this as a guide to work through to the top, okay? So I'm just going to scoop it from underneath as a guide. Again, so you can now see. There we go. Now I'm going to pick it up, and again, a bit of elevation there so it falls and lies on itself. Put it up like this, and I'll cut it nice and straight. So what this is doing is starting to connect that crown and that top into the back. Now I'm working everything out straight towards me as well. Guide from the left hand side, and work that down. And by elevating it, you don't get a very harsh line. That slight elevation starts to lie nicely over it, okay? Now with that being done, that's my guide to work through to the top. So I take a section of the crown, doesn't matter because obviously we're going to keep it long. I take a section across and I use that as my guide. Pick that up. Ready? Pick that up and I elevate again. And there's a guide underneath. Can you see that? There's the guide underneath. I'll pull that out. There's my guide underneath there, sticking out my fingers, okay? I'll work up again. See the elevation on that? Lift it up, cut. Lift it up, and cut. Just keeping everything towards me. So you won't have a guide on the left hand side. And you won't have a guide this side, you have a guide just from the left hand side. Lift everything else, come towards me. So what that's doing is still keeping the weight and the length through the crown. It's still creating head shape into the neck as well. Alright? Now, this section here is just before the crown on here. So again, I'm taking pretty much the same size sections we were on the sides. Ready? Now what I'll do is I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to use the guide from the bottom Let me just turn you around this side. You might be able to see a bit easier. I'm going to use a guide from the bottom here to do my first section. That's what I've done, essentially connected it straight through. Okay? So I've got my guide there. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to work up. Let me get around this side for you so you can see. So I'm picking this section up. And I'm working straight up and using my guide from underneath to take the length off the top. Now I want the crown to graduate longer. So there's the top that I'm taking off there. Okay, I'm going to point cut into this. I'm going to use that as my guide. There we go. Cut into that as well. And again, I'm working nice up, straight. I'm not rounding the head. There we go. So I'm starting to create length, sitting around and movement through the crown as well. Okay? Now I'm going to work straight on now. You start to see the sections working now. So that was the section just before the crown. And that is what I'm doing. I'm working from the crown all the way to the front. And say 1/2 inch wide sections, okay? And then sort of use the guide from behind. Now as I pull my fingers through here now, you see the guide that I'm talking about. You ready? So it's the guide that I'm using. Now it might look like I'm taking loads off, but they get longer and longer and over direct to the front, okay? So straight up in the air and work across the section. So I'm not working like forward as you're doing one section with one cut and then losing the section and going forwards. I'm working right the way along, nice and square. And I'm working from left to right, using the guides I've got, bring that up. Okay, now there's my guide there, you see? There's my guide, there's the cut and also the guide behind it as well, okay? As you pick it up, you start to see becoming nice and level, okay, through there. Then keep pushing this back, because again, that's what we're doing, we're pushing this hair back. Keep going with it. We're starting to get a nice connection through the back. We're building weight up through the crown here as well. As you can see, it's starting to fall nice and heavy. That's what we want. Now what I want to do is lift it up, and there's the guide. So the guide from the back here is what I've done. I've just seen a question there, right? I'm following the guide that I horizontally cut here. Okay, that's the guide I'm following. So if you bring this up here, that's the guide I'm following all the way around. So all I'm doing is bringing it up like this. Okay, so essentially if you imagine it broken down, cut it horizontally here, and then I pulled it out again, and I pulled it up, 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 and then I'm going to pull it back. Okay, so essentially I'm just getting a connection all the way through. Just simply getting a connection. I'm not having to work through to get the crown in later or anything like that. I'm using the crown and the back here as the guide to leave it longer towards the front. Okay? Now, I'll show you what I'm doing from here. I don't know if you can see from this side, guys, but what I'm doing is I'll show you my guide through here now. So I'm taking sections and I'm cutting off the back here, so I'm just pulling it out so I've got a nice clean section through there, just for my guide. Okay? And what I'm doing is I'm using the guide from the back that I've just cut and I'm pulling it up. So as you can see, there's the guide there. That is the guide that I've pulled from the section I've just cut, which again, that section there was cut from the guide behind it, and that section was cut from the guide behind it, and so forth, okay? Pick it up again, nice and straight, and point cut into that. Now what I'm doing on the side of around the head here though, is I'm just keeping it nice and straight. So I want to try and build up a little bit of corner here. So if you remember the photograph, it's got quite a lot of length falling back. It looks overhanging. We don't want that. We want to try and keep squareness here, but we want to try and connect it too. We still need to keep a nice square shape through this. So that'll help it grow out. I'm pulling this back again, section from behind. I'm working up straight using the guide from the left hand side, okay? There we go. Okay guys, this is just a nice way of doing something different. Just add to your repertoire. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, just trying to add more ways for you to do different haircuts different ways as well. Because we all know if you do it the same way all the time, it does get a bit boring. So it's always nice to add things to your repertoire, which hopefully by doing this technique, which I haven't done on the video, to the front of the ear here, we've got a long way till we have to cut the fringe in. Obviously on Ian, the hairlines again, like we spoke at the start, a little bit wider here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm starting to over direct all this fringe back. So we're maintaining a lot of length at the front, but gradually getting shorter towards the back, like the photograph. Okay, so I took a section from the middle, just taking a loose section from behind it, making sure the front one's nice and straight. I'm picking it up, and what I'm going to do, this is going to be the last section that we start to pull back, okay? So if you watch this, my last section from behind there, I'm going to pull it back to where the last section was cut. Now this is what we call over direction, so we're starting to leave length longer and longer and longer and longer, but with a nice graduation going back as well. And just putting into that, and I'm pulling back. So if you have a look where I'm cutting from where the last section was. Can you see that on the side there? That was where my last section was, and that's where I'm cutting to. So as you can see, I was cutting straight up on the last ones. Now I'm pulling back, okay? Pulling it back again. Nice and straight up in the air. And what I'm going to do again, I'm going to pull this section back to the middle as well. So again, essentially I'm pulling everything back to here that will actually create that kind of angle, okay? Straight on now. Take that section from behind, from my guide. And we'll start to pull everything back. So you can see now, watch how far back I put my fingers there. And there is my guide that I'm cutting to. Okay, you see that? Pulling this right back, and then the guide starts to appear. Okay? Straight up, pull it back. Straight up, pull it back. So as you can see, I'm not rounding on the corners. I'm still keeping quite a length through here. Now I've got, and I'm pulling this all the way back now. So if I turn to the side, you'll really see how much over direction there is now. So there's the section that I'm cutting. Here, I'm leaving that to the last. And I'm bringing it back to here, okay? So you see this now? Bring this all the way back. So even though it's really long, look how it's coming off the top compared to what we cut before. And as you can see, the shape of that over direction, as if you brought it forward, if I didn't over direct it, so if you look at this now, and how little there is coming through compared to how long it is, there, right? If I went straight up from the front and took a section and followed the guide, I'd be cutting that much off. So you can see as you over direct it, less and less comes through. And that just helps to give a graduation to longer fringes or anywhere else. If you want to disconnect anywhere else, what it helps to do, it just helps to nicely graduate it in, so you haven't got basically short hair then a step of long hair. Okay, that's what's nice about doing it this way. Then bring that back in to the apex. See, not much is coming off at all. There we go. And then the last section, through the front, I'm going to bring this right back. Now, I'm guessing hardly anything, or maybe the tiniest bit will come off this. There we go, that's all I'm taking off. Literally just the wispy ends, okay? So just think how long this front is. When I come out now, you'll see what I mean, how long it is. With the graduation we're getting and the picture that we're aiming for, again, that longer fringe, brush right back to that shorter sides. This is my take on doing it. Sure, there's other ways to do it, but this is the kind of way I do it. There we go. Now, Bring that forward. Look how long this fringe is. As it sweeps back, see, it connects to the crown. There's no step, there's no lines, there's no nothing. It's just a simple over direction. See, but you get movement because you've been taking sections from here up and then over directing. You get long bits, short bits flowing through it. Okay, now we're going to connect the sides in now, except for the fringe. So that's why I was keeping it nice and square, because I'm still leaving myself with the corner here. As you can see, I'm still leaving myself with the sides. So I can sort of connect this in just by looking at what I want to connect into. Okay, so just purely by sight. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to work across like that. Okay, same the other side. I'm just going to work up into the recession. You can see that there. And just pull this straight over like that. There we go. And all I'm going to do there is just separate his fringe. We can connect that later if we want to, we can disconnect it if we want to, but I want to leave this with a lot of length in it, okay? So I'm just pulling that down like that, just to separate it, okay? Now what I'm going to do, so I want to keep a fair bit of weight through this corner, but I want it to graduate and connect through the back, is I'm going to work horizontally in sections, okay? So my horseshoe section was around here, right? You can see there's not much coming through there, so I'm going to take a section just behind it, right to the back, okay? And just comb that over. What I'm going to do, lift it up. I'm going to elevate first section just slightly above flat, okay? I'm going to cut into this, point cut into this, okay? Just to match. It's a very, very thin section. It's just to get that buildable weight through the corner. As you can see, if I wear around here, there's nothing really coming off, okay? So I'm just connecting that first bit in there. Now, I'm going to work up to the centre. I'm going to take, again, a fairly small section, probably 1/2 inch wide. Bear in mind I haven't touched the fringe yet. And I'm working right back to the crown. Just in one straight movement, okay? And I'm going to start bringing this down now and connecting to the original section underneath here. So more than when I was pulling straight out. Again, as you can see, we're over directing this section to leave weight through this corner here, okay? I'll bring this down, move the fringe out of the way, work up, and there's my guide. Okay, you see that? Pulling it down to meet to where our corner was here for just underneath the round of the head. Pull it down, lift it up, there's my guide, and point cut into this again. Bring it down into that section. There's my guide, if you can see it. There's the guide under there. Again, what we're starting to do is leave length through there, so it flows nicely back. Right, this is the last section before the centre of the head. I'm going to pull this down again. Pull it down into the same section, just below the round of the head. There's my guide, if you can see it. There. And the point cuts into that as well, nice and straight. Just bringing everything down. So as we get to the back, we won't have anything to cut. So bring it through here, we've got nothing to cut. Okay. What we're doing there is just keeping a lot of weight through this corner. That allows us to fall back with no steps, no lines, no nothing. Okay. Now the last section is from the middle of the head, so just do it straight down the middle. Bring it all the way down. We shouldn't have much to cut from this now. Okay, bring it down. Tiniest bit, I mean the littlest bit. Just do it anyway. There we go. Now, do the same on the other side now. Bringing that back. Taking a section just above where the horseshoe was. Bringing that down, coming over, taking from the back to the front, and just elevating that slightly as well, okay? Now in this next section we start to bring everything down now. So again, maybe roughly 1/2 inch section, all the way down to the head, go down to the back, like that, bring it in, and then bring it down to that section we've just cut, okay? So I lift it underneath as well. What you'll see if I pull my comb up is there's my guide. Just bringing everything down. There we go. Following that all the way around. There we go. Guide from the right hand side, guide from underneath. Same size section. Just working literally straight across into the crown like that. Bringing it down. Try and make your sections as straight as you can. Bring this down again. Got my guide underneath. Bring it down again to the same section. There we go. Bring it all that back so it falls nicely. And then got second to last section before we get to the centre. Bring this down again. Same idea, not much should start to come off. We'll bring this down. Tiny bit. Again, the front bit, more of where we're over directing. And then we've got the last one at the centre. Straight down. All the way down to the last section. Little tiny bit on that bit there in the corner. And there, nothing again. No, it's a tiny bit. Do the box there. Okay. Now, that is my connection to the back, to the sides, and now all we've got to do is do the fringe. I want to leave a lot of length through this fringe, like the photograph. Okay, so I'm going to do, I'm going to split it down the middle. Can you see that? I'm going to split it right down the middle and work from one side to the other. So just coming from his nose, straight up and across. Okay, and straight as that. Oh, I thought I'd get that first time for you then, guys. Don't know about anyone else out there, but I never get this centre part done first time. There we go. And just split it down the middle, okay? Just to break it up for me again. The reason why I do a lot of like sections like this is just because it just breaks it up for me. It's just nice and easy to do. Break the whole haircut down into simple stages. You can't seem to go wrong. Now what I want to do, I want to keep length coming through this. So what I'm going to do is I want the end length to be, I think we need it to be about there. Maybe the bottom of his nose, maybe. I reckon there, because in that way, as if that comes up, we cut it to there, that bit falls and lands almost by the crown. It's very similar here, so we've got quite a lot of length. Now I'm going to cut the length in first from the front and bringing all this down to here. I'm cutting the length that I want in first, so I want to cut it to about there. Nice and straight. Just work over to the knuckle of my finger. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this on an angle to the length there, and take off some length through the corner as well. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to add a slight bit of connection in to the sides, but maintain length down that front there. Just cutting in through there. So essentially what that does, it all hangs down into the front. Okay, that'll just help. So just add a little bit more blend as it falls back. It doesn't just like the whole fringe is sitting all the way back. Okay. It just adds a little bit of movement as it falls down there like that. It's not mega long, whereas this bit is mega long down there, okay? Same again the other side. What you can do now is take a little bit from that side, push it all the way back. Take it just off centre so you can use that other side as your guide. Bring that down. So we've got our guide to here, you see. As I bring that down, we'll work into our guide. See that? There we go. There's my guide. Bring this in. a guide and just bring it all onto an angle. Just bring it across. Just start to cut in. So it's nice, a nice graduation to that front. So as it falls over, it's not too heavy in this connection. You've just got a little bit of a slight blend through there as well. Okay. Essentially what you're doing is creating that angle down. Okay. Right. We'll add a little bit of texture to this now with the razor, and then we're good to style then, I think. Hope everyone's been enjoying it. Again, this is our first one, so we'll get better at this if I have been a bit in front. So adding a little bit more to your repertoire that you already got. You might just want to know a few different ways of doing things, and that's essentially what we're trying to do here. Right, so bring this across and add a little bit of movement with the razor. Okay, so what I do, pick it up just from the centre. Again, you can be quite sporadic with this. Here's my section I cut earlier. I'm just going to work from the mid lengths to the ends and just break up that hair. Now the thing I love about this is that it's a very visual way of texturising. It's a very visual way of almost in front of the client kind of showcasing what you're about really. Because I don't know many people who do generally use razors for everyday cutting. And I think if you are in a place that people don't generally use a razor, it's something that really shows off you kind of why you're doing it, you explain why. And the best thing is as well, I just want to show you this, I love this bit, is when you can say to them, what it does is when you slide in from the mid lengths to the ends, it makes your hair stand up, okay? And when they go, what do you mean if it stands up? You go, even a bit of water, your hair will stand up. And I love that, because it just shows that. Imagine you've got a better product in there, imagine what it'll do. So I think for when you are trying to do something visually for like new clients, for example, I love it, because it just makes people see that you can get the hair to stay with just a bit of water, which I think is just a really, really awesome texturising technique. And it does work as well. You start to thin out the hair, helps it to stand up. It's just nice. There we go. Bring it through the front now as well. I'm bringing everything back a little bit. Again, same kind of idea over directing. Just to break this up, just add a bit of texture through there. You could, if you haven't got a razor, if you are working along, if you haven't got a razor, you could slide cut through this as well. I just find it gives a slightly different finish, but if you haven't got a razor, you could pick it up at the length you would normally razor in and slide through with your scissors if you want to. It's a very, very similar thing. So let's just do that for now, argument's sake. Slide through as well, just to break it up and thin it out as well. See much higher that's sitting now as well. It's not sitting really, really flat to the head anymore. I'll move back to my razor. Pick it up. Slide through. Pick it up through here as well. See the hair falling through as I'm cutting it. There we go. And I'm also just going to raise it slightly back as well. So I'm just going to use the razor just to guide the hair for me. I want it to fall back a little bit as well. So I'm just going to comb this out the way. And you don't need to be too methodical with the combing on this. Run the comb in. You can't see it's my t-shirt. Run choose the colour down, but it's alright. What you do is run the razor behind the comb just to cap that off. It just caps off like that. And bring that through. It just helps to cap off the sides, just maybe sticking out a little bit because you've got really straight hair. Right, I'm going to dry this off now. So I'm going to dry it with a bit of salt spray, and I'm going to finish with a little bit of the Regal Gentleman matte clay. Now, again, clays on longer hair can be, well, personal opinion, personal choice. I find with something like this, you want a bit more hold, okay? Because you want to sit back off of it, especially if someone's got longer hair, they want to sit a bit flatter. Okay, so I'm going to use the clay. I would have used the paste, but I thought I'd give the clay a go because I've used it on longer hair before and I like it. So I'm going to give it a go today. Right, so I'm going to use a round brush for this and my hairdryer. So I've got my round brush. I'm going to start, just going to comb it over. I'm going to start by drying off the sides, okay? So, do apologise if I get in the way now, guys, okay? I'm going to start using the round brush. I'm just section off a little bit of the hair, okay? I'm just going to dry this down. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not looking for a perfectly finished feel. I'm looking for quite a nice loose texture. And again, don't forget, guys, the nozzle is what makes this work. As you can see, I hold the nozzle there, it guides the hair back. I hold the nozzle that way, it guides the hair up. Hold the nozzle down, it guides it down, okay? You see there. I'm using the nozzle to create the direction I want it to go in. From this way, it might be easier. I'm looking to bring this back, okay? Just still loose over the ears, a little bit of taper into the sideburn, a bit closer into the neck as well. Emphasise the length, being a bit top heavier and just being a bit longer towards the ear as well. Okay? It's still sitting with a nice bit of length through here, but it's going to a nice taper around it. Okay? There you go. Go away to the back now. Section away, pull it over, and just wear it down. This is how I generally do most of my blow drying. I don't really section it off too kind of perfectly. I just kind of dry it a bit more natural, because the way I think about it is that, you know, if a guy's going to dry it themselves, they're not going to spend time perfectly sectioning the hair. So I always try and do it in a way that's still going to be sectioned smoothish, like kind of cleanish, but obviously something that's doable at home, because there's no point in doing a haircut that a client can't do at home, because, you know, all that hard work, all that time and effort you've put into it, and then they're going to kind of blow dry without a nozzle on or something like that. It just goes all over the place. There's no point, is there? So I always try and do it so I can try and make the client replicate it at home. So just kind of separate with a brush. Everyone knows how to separate the hair with a brush, like that. Quite simple. And then just tell them, little nozzle, any hairdryer will do, and then just get a round brush if you can. Okay? I'll go this way just so you can see it. I'm just trying it. With the nozzle, as you can see, I'm using that nozzle to direct the hair where I want it to go. Again, working into that back again. Just working all the way down to the bottom. Okay. Now again, we'll work from the back now. We'll bring this over towards me and give a nice separation at the back like that. Okay. Wrap the brush around, roll it over. Wrap the brush around, roll it over. Now, what I always say to people as well, when they are using a brush for the first time, especially talking to guys who aren't barbers or hairdressers watching this, is that I always imagine, because everyone tends to know how to rev a motorbike. I know it sounds crazy. Just trust me, these things sound mad, but they kind of make sense, okay? Is that when you rev a motorbike, you do that, right? So again, essentially, when you are doing a brush, you're basically revving a motorbike, like that, in the hair. So I always say, if you want to try and use a brush for the first time, just imagine revving somebody who isn't a barber or a hairdresser in a way that makes sense and doesn't look like you're trying to bombard them with, like, you know, or hairdresser talk, you know? So I always say, imagine revving an engine, imagine revving a motorbike like that, and that's essentially what you're doing with a brush. I'm going to use my fingers now as well to dry. And start to scrunch and get that little bit of natural texture coming through the hair as well, okay? Start to see that shape getting in quite nice now. Now, again, I'm going to go across the top, dry it back. Just trying to break it down so it's quite easy for you, for everyone to follow, and especially people who aren't barbers to follow. Just give a bit of dryness at the roots and just let it fall naturally and it gets to the back. I'll finish off my fingers. Through. So I'll create that nice length, remove it from there. Now, what I tend to do now is I separate it from the middle. So I'll pull it all forward and I'll bring it from side to side. Okay? So dry it from side to side like this. Like that, just to dry out the roots. And I'll just bring it back like that. Just use the fingers. Okay, let's come back. Just easier, I find, to separate that way, like that. Do the same the other side. Then, coming forward, take a very wide section, pull it over, dry it, not overcomplicating it. There we go. And going back this way. Let the nozzle do the work for me. And then I'll dry it again. One more side. Again, we're not looking for too much height in this fringe now, remember, if you look at the photograph, kind of quite swept back. There we go. Now essentially what I'm left with, if you can't hear me, essentially what I'm left with, I'm going to tilt his head down, it's basically just a patch through the middle, like a strip of wet hair through the middle, okay? So this is just trying to think of a way to make it easier for clients to dry their hair, okay, more than having to get combs and use the little fingers to section and stuff. What I'll do now is just basically separate it. And just go back over that. Tilt the head back as well. Like that. Do the section, go down. Bring it up. And just work into the front. And just use fingers to break it up. Separate it. And then I just dry it from left to right, right to left to right, right to left. Now, generally why I dry it from like left to right, right to left is just to try and break up the natural growth pattern of the hair, so it does fall any way really it wants to. I know some people have got a very strong parting, but hopefully if you can dry it different ways, it just tends to help it fall a bit more naturally as well. Just dry it this way, then that way, and then back. Now, that is our base to the haircut. We're going to finish it off with the product now as well. Okay, so I'm just thinking through the haircut we did at the start. The pitch that we looked at was quite top heavy, brush back, a little bit of length on the sides coming through here, but mainly top heavy. Okay, so let's remember that when we come to styling. We've got a little bit of the matte clay. I'm running out, mate. You know, you're gonna have to send me some more. I'm starting to run out. You can use a paste, you can use a clay, you can use a cream, any product, any brand. I just like this one because I know how to use it. Now, I'm working it through. There we go, it's on my hands. And I'm going to start by just working this through from the back, through the sides as well, okay? So from the back, working it through the sides, layering this in. So you see it coating the hair. Same the other side. Work that through with my fingers and then just scrunch in to the top. And this will really show off now as well. If I just stand this up, so before we style it into the shape, so rub it all the way in. Now if I stand that up and turn to the side, you'll see the cut that we did on the top. So if I bring this out with my fingers, there's the shape we were cutting it in. So we had it longer there, and I got essentially comb it through. You can see. So what you essentially do is you're doing that cut all the way around. Okay, it's coming longer, shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay. And then now let's look at how that image was styled. So it's brushed back through the sides a little bit, still a bit coming up over the ears, like that. So it's still sitting quite loose on the ear. Bring it back, Same this side, still sitting nice and over the ears. Just twist that around the ears so you show that length off down the bottom there. A little bit of length through the back, but we've done a bit of a taper on this to give it a nice finish. And then it was just kind of brushed back to one side on the top. I think it was going this way. So I think we'll just bring it over that way. Just add a bit of texture to it. Just use our fingers to break that up a little bit. So we use brush just to brush the top through a little bit, just to get it to sit a bit flatter. And essentially, that was the kind of look we had going on. That kind of thing, because you've got that. Essentially, that's what you've got going on. You've got that top heaviness coming through with that nice connection through the back, and a bit more length through the ear and through the corner through there as well. A nice longer style through there. So what I'll do is I will take you to the window so you can see the layering, texturizing, and all that shape sitting through. So that's my take on it. Let me just take you off the tripod stand and you'll be able to see. Take this to the window, you might get a better understanding of what it's like. Let me see. So can you see that a bit better? So you've got that texturing through the top there, that top heaviness, that front heaviness, with it sitting a little bit longer to the ear, with still got length to push it back, but you're still creating a nice square shape through the back there. A taper through there as well. So you see you've still got the layers coming back through the back there. A little bit of length over the ear, so it looks a bit more natural. A bit of a taper into the sideburns. And then just playing with that idea of having a texture at the back. Let me just, that's towards the light there as well, if you can see. It's got all that movement through the back as well, with that nice little taper. So it's not steppy, it's not blocky, there's no lines in it. It just sits nice all the way through the crown. That blend as well. And we haven't took major length off it neither, which is quite nice. Right guys, well that was it. That was it. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, we'll try and do another one of these as well. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to read all the questions, but I just want to say a massive thank you for spending the time to come and actually, you know, watch it on a Sunday night. I'm sure there's other things you could be doing. Any questions, send me them over. If I can try and answer any, if I can still see the questions you were typing in, I'll try and answer them as well, or through Liam, if best I can. And hopefully the step-by-steps that I was talking you through was as clear as possible I could make it. Sorry if I got in the way in bits, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for everything.